Hi and welcome to another edition of winemastery.co.uk, and we're just about to get into the history of sparkling wine with Wendy. So Wendy, when we were looking around the vineyard, you came out with some fantastic facts about sparkling wine and the fact that the British, or the English even, were the first to bring it or discover it.
Well, yeah, I mean, not many people realise this, and if you tell your average champenois that we got there first, they don't get happy.
A bit bitter about that.
It's like Dom Perignon is almost the same. So, no, it was, what used to happen is England used to import wine in barrels, and the wine would be bottled in London and Leith and the major centres or private inns. And usually it would get brought over in barrels in the winter. And what would happen to the yeast is the yeast would go to sleep because it was too cold to function. And then when the spring came, it would wake up again, and if there was enough sugar in the wine, it would start re-fermenting. And the cider makers, actually, English cider makers, realised that if you put a little bit of sugar in the bottle and bottle the wine, the yeast has all that lovely food to eat. And when it wakes up, it eats the sugar, makes more alcohol, produces carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide has nowhere to go because it's a glass bottle instead of a barrel.
Yeah.
So it dissolves into the wine and makes it fizzy.
Voila!
And this guy called Christopher Merritt produced a paper to the Royal Society in 1662 saying, actually, we've adopted the methods from the cider makers, and look, you can do it with wine and it makes fantastic champagne.
Whoa! 1662
was when he presented the paper.
Wow!
So we got there first. That's quite pleasing, isn't it?
So much longer, 60 years before they even first report that Dom Perignon started it in Haute-Villard. So
fabulous.
There's this natural competition between the French and the English, or the French and the British, isn't there? And we're a little bit concerned that we've become a little bit sort of French bashing, because sometimes French wines have a quite high price tag, and from Yorkshire, we like very much to get our value for money, and so one of my priorities, as John well knows, is it's got to taste good, but it's got to be worth the money.
It's got to be in the price range. I can probably tell you that price range.
There's fantastic wines out there, and you don't always have to pay a fortune for wines. You have to be, it's your palate, not your wallet, that should determine it. But if you can get a good value wine as well, more to enjoy.
Absolutely. I think in fact the point that John has always made is if the wine you enjoy is a £5 bottle of wine, that's fine. As long as you enjoy it, that's the important thing. Rather than feeling you've got to taste something else or choose a different wine just because all your friends are. So what would you obviously apart from your own wine, which would be the first choice,
obviously.
of course, in terms of giving some advice to someone that's new to wine, maybe used to wine but not sparkling wine, what advice would you give to them in terms of them finding a path to this particular sparkling wine that they like?
Well, first of all, what would be good is to try different sparkling. So a lot of people now drink Prosecco, which is a really, really fruity, fresh, fun sparkling wine, and see whether you like that, or if you like something that's a bit more serious. So hopefully when we taste this, you'll be having something that's a bit more, call it autolytic characteristics. It's all that sort of bready, yeasty, marmitey thing that comes from prolonged contact with the bottle yeast. So this takes a long time to make, but it's for those sorts of characteristics that you're looking for. So first of all, decide whether you like that or not, because if you want something that's fresh and fruity and light, then Cava or Prosecco, you can get some fantastic stuff out there. You can get some bad stuff too.
Of course.
But if you have discrimination, honestly, go and experiment, go and find something. If you want something that's a bit more serious, I think a good choice is to look for single vineyard sparklings and champagnes, because, well, for a start, no one knows exactly how much they produce, but 27 million bottles may not get the individual attention, I'm just saying, may not, to someone who only produces maybe 10,000 bottles. Yep. So you can find smaller producers who will sell you inexpensive wines, so find someone that you like. But the best thing is to just try things and see what suits you, and then look at what you're eating as well. So if you're drinking it before you eat, you just have to make sure you like the taste. If you're drinking it with what you're eating, you know, don't go and drink it with a meringue or something. It's never going to work.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye on. So fish is fantastic. Anything, sort of all those lovely little canapes, anything that's sort of salty or whatever, this goes really, really well. And if you're buying a cheaper bottle of fizz, chill it down, because as it gets warmer, then some of those little flaws are going to show.
Okay.
And if you've got something that's very good quality, you can afford to have it at a little bit higher temperature. Don't freeze it in the fridge, you know. Give it its little shot, maybe 20 minutes in ice and water, and it'll taste so much better.
Okay, that sounds like good advice to me.
It does indeed, yes.
Indeed, yes. Excellent.
Very good.
Okay, so we'll move on to the tasting, shall we? All right, we'll be back in a sec.